Hello, everybody, and welcome to something different. This is Sparks, and I'm in one of my test worlds. I thought people might be interested to have a look around if I show you around the test world a bit, because I have several, and I might do a sort of highlights video of some of the random things. Some of them I haven't seen in a long time, because it's a big world. Just sort of showing you some of the things that I have, really. You may find it interesting. There's a lot of redstone stuff mostly on here, command blocks and regular. So some things you may recognise from episodes, some you may not. For instance, this was my first draft of the enchanting system on the ALP server, where I was doing some tests, and I tend to sort of do half-finished versions of things just to see vaguely if they'll work. I do sort of little experiments. Like this is a segment and things like that. But other things I have on here. Oh, this. I don't know if I'm going to use this yet. It's a bit messy, but basically, I was trying to work out whether I could have this on one end and this on the other end of a long platform, and basically do a really cheap mob farm where you have this sort of blade of slime blocks that push the mobs off the platform. And the idea is that this is it's a flying machine that slides from one end to the other, and then all these pistons and repeaters and things basically take the flying machine apart and move some of the parts around so that it points in the other direction and then sets it off again. The flying machine is a design I got from Cube Hamster. I'm really not very good at the flying machine stuff, but the rotator is my own design, so I think it looks pretty cool. I don't know if I'll use it yet. There's a lot of random stuff on here. This is a first draft design of the Rotten Power Plant. This is when I was trying to design the hub on the ALP server. I wondered how big a 64 squared room was, and it was huge, so we decided to go for something smaller. And for some reason I made it out of stairs. It was an MC Edit filter that did it, not by hand. I have no idea what this is. Quite often I just want to flick the lever and find out. Nothing happens. Some sort of scoreboard thing. Okay. And likewise with that, I have no idea. Over here is some really interesting stuff, actually. These are first draft designs for the power plant. So I think one of my first designs was this here, for sort of the burning of the rotten flesh and stuff. So I was playing around with having furnaces, droppers, clocks, things like that, working out how to tile things. And I was playing around quite a bit with signal strength as well. So here's a really first draft. So each generator is going to have its own little glass box. It looks like I've given them clay color coordination, and each one of them runs separately, and you can drop flesh in here, I think. I don't know if it'll still work. And that starts the timer. And down here, it outputs its strength and stuff to a load of wiring down here. I don't remember if there was a control panel for this version. There is, look. I don't know if it's connected up or what, but it was not very... It was hard to work out how much power an individual unit had anymore, so I dropped that idea. But not right away. First, I kind of went for this. I nearly went for this. Each of them looks like a little glass potion bottle, which I think looks pretty cool. All self-sufficient. Again, they can take fuel and off they go. And there's some power running now, and there were some levers. This one here, it didn't automatically work out how much power it needed. You had to tell it how much you wanted it to use. So that's kind of cool. Playing around a lot with that. Here's a really early design for one of those glass modules. I had this idea that there could be lamps inside, and if they were pushed up, they'd light up against the redstone blocks, and if they were pushed down, they wouldn't. This looks like me trying to fit timers really close to each other. And what else do we have to do with the power plant here? That's not that. That's something from the map making series. Oh, this looks like a bud switch. If the furnace turns on, it will trigger the redstone back here. I was also playing around a lot with signal strength. Oh, this. I was trying to see whether I could make a setup on the side here that would... Whoa, what is this? Oh yeah, I was trying to have a 2-piston thingamajig here, and the repeaters would cause the two pistons to kind of go in one direction, and then they could. It didn't work. I was trying to get it to go in both directions basically, and I think that was another attempt at that. It doesn't work. Lots of random command blocks lying around. What else do we have? Oh, this stuff's interesting. So this I still think is pretty cool. So this is a signal decay system. So you turn on and all the lamps turn on, and when you turn the lever off, it slowly degrades. That's because there's basically signal sort of looping around here, and each time it goes through this redstone, it loses 1 strength. So I was toying with the idea that power would sort of fade out like this on the power plant, but I think it would have caused too much lag, so I dropped it. This is very early experimentation with keeping signal strength along a power cable and going up and down and things without losing signal strength. And also in these are rechargeable batteries, which I haven't put into my world yet. I think all the things have been cleared out of them because there was an update where all the contents of chests was lost. But if I put stuff in there, maybe that much, you'll see this comparator stays on until the items in the chest run out. So this is the power coming from the power plant, and this is the output, right? So if the power plant is on, it turns this clock on, and it starts filling this chest with items. So this is kind of there's a smaller version of it over here with less space. And once all that's empty, the clock turns off. Now, if the power from the power plant runs out, and I will probably be using this later, these start draining out. This is sort of the stored charged power draining, and then once that runs out, then that cuts off. So still planning to use that at some point. What else do we have? We've got some non-power plant related things as well. This here was a early attempt at getting lamps to go backwards and start again from the same direction, which I don't know if I overcomplicated it or not. I don't know if I came up with a new version, but it's pretty expensive. This is some pretty interesting things that I was working on for a while. So I wanted to see how easy it would be to do lighting that, well, look, sort of dimmer and then less dim. You know, like lighting that turns on gradually, which I think looks pretty cool. Not quite as good as I was hoping. The way it basically works is there's dispensers up here with water buckets, and then the light holes go here, and light level is dropped by 3 every block of water it travels through. So as the water spreads, the light gets dimmer, and as the water fades away, it gets brighter again. I have another version of that over here. So this is a vertical version, which I ended up not going for, but it does the same principle. Yeah. But I figured it would be better to do it sideways so that you could, like this has got 4 light holes for 2 dispensers instead of 1 for 1 dispenser kind of thing. Oh, there's a lot of random things here. That is, this is something I submitted to Traslander. This is a node system he asked people to help him come up with, and he was looking at it for a while in his video, but he didn't go for it. So that's Traslander was the reason I started a map making series. This was an experiment with Enderman teleportation. I wondered whether I could stop an Enderman teleporting and something. What did I want to do with an Enderman? Is this busted? What is this? Was I trying to do a randomizer with Enderman? Or I don't remember. I don't remember what I was doing there. There's lots of things in here that I don't remember doing. What else do we have? There's some stuff in the air up here. Ooh, yes. Background noise. I don't know what this is. Oh, this was, it's apparently no longer working. A lot of this stuff, this is really early set block stuff, and I used the ID of the block rather than the name before they changed that. So I believe this caused the this stained clay to sort of cycle between colors as like a sort of, you click the button and you would have something happen, like an action, and I think it turned this clock on over here, and the thing would basically pulse while the action was taking place, and then once it was done, it would turn green or something to say that the action was complete. So kind of like a buffering sign. This I made a video about, and no longer works. It's because I've got this instead of Minecraft stained hardened clay. If I take that and put it there as well, this is basically a indicator switch. Like every time you click it, it changes from red to green. A lot of this stuff is now broken though. This was back when SetBlock first came out. Does it still work? No. What it was, it made like a glass platform that would slowly run along here, and then when it reached the end, I think I just saw it there. When it reached the end, like the idea was you should run along the platform as it appeared, and then at the end I had the set blocks replaced by falling sand glass. I vaguely saw it then. Things have changed a lot. This was an attempt at a 3x3 door. There are people who are amazing at 3x3 doors, and I never could get them to work. I just never got it. I've never made a proper 3x3 door before. This was my 1.7 flying machine, which probably no longer works. I also don't remember how to use it. I think you need to summon all of these, and they sort of go and stack on top of each other down there. Right. No way is this still going to work. I suspect that it can't set the pistons back here anymore to push. It would put pistons down, and then the pistons would push the flying machine forward. It was amazing. But it looks like it is broken until I change the piston ID in the commands, probably. That's probably the problem. This was an early attempt at a paint program where you could colour the squares, and I was trying to work out how to save the colour into the command block. And then I had a sort of a solid state save drive over here that was supposed to save the colours. I gave up on that. I was bored. What does this do? Nothing. I think I made a video about this one. This is a zombie. This is an entangled mob clock, as I called it. I've still got the command. If I summon a zombie, the zombie tries to reach the villager, and blocks itself, and so you basically sort of get this clock as the zombie wanders back and forth. Yeah, it wasn't a very well-timed timer, but there you go. This, ages ago, I made an MC Edit filter that would replace items, blocks with relevantly coloured glass. So that's the original island, and then I've got the translations here, and I had settings so you could choose to leave ores or water or things like that. The glass panes from the tree vanished because I logged in the wrong version at one point. You could choose to keep bedrock or certain types like organic matter, chests. This one turns them into wool instead of glass, and this one does the same with clay. And I don't know what that one's about, but yeah, that was kind of cool. And this was my all the blocks and what colour I thought they should be indicator. I finished the filter, I think, more or less, and then they added a load more blocks and I got discouraged. This is my 1.5 test world, which hasn't been loaded for a long time. Oh my god, it's the original Truetenor test. Truetenor is a mini-game map I was working on. Haven't had time to do recently, but basically a node capture point. I was playing around with lighting up floors. That was like the very first ever design of that. Wow, I honestly have no idea what's in this area anymore. This is when dispensers could first spit things out, and I was testing them. Huh. I'm guessing that's supposed to be some sort of auto crusher. It's interesting. There will be no command blocks and a lot of redstone in this map. Ah! I'd completely forgotten about this. Alright. How do I use this? Hang on a second. There we go. A bit quieter now. So, it's basically a thing where you can mix your music, and I think... Yeah. And these lamps up here changed it so it was 2 beats. So like if you look, it goes dun dun dun. But if you flick this, it just does it once. So it's kind of a thing. And then this is crazy. I'd completely forgotten about this. What does this one do? Just turns it off. Okay, there's the clock. That clock has been going for about 2 years. That's crazy. Wow. Oh yeah, the pistons didn't sound very good. Wow, I'd forgotten about that. That's crazy. I love it. This was really early Trutinol stuff. Oh, look, a command block. What did the command block do? Gives you XP. Okay. And I think this is a really early... Like, when you captured the node, it would light the node up. Like that. So it was really visible to people. Wow, that was a long time ago. I think this is me digging holes with TNT. Yeah, all the TNT's gone. Oh, this is when you could point a comparator at a dispenser and it would just pulse. That was great. Doesn't work anymore. That looks like a TNT cannon of some kind. This was the ALP Season 1 sorting room. A test for that. This was a piston elevator, I think. Let me try it. Oh yeah, still works. Does it get stuck at the top? Yeah, the last piston stays out. This was another one. I think basically the same thing with a button that does nothing. Fantastic. And a fence gate. What was I doing? I have no idea. Crazy. Yeah, I played around with quite a few designs for elevators. Again, not a clue. Some kind of door, I think. Oh wow, using wood, really? It's been a while since I used wood in Redstone. This looks like some sort of spiral elevator or a staircase, maybe. Oh, the pop-up sheep farm. The pop-up sheep farm. Where's the button? There's the button. Yeah. Stop jumping, the water's gone. This was supposed to be a cookie farm, and then they changed it so that crops growing didn't cause bud switches to trigger anymore. This was like my first ever Lectures in Lab Coats video. This was a redstone timer, a variable timer, before you could lock hoppers. So it used minecart chests and hoppers. The hoppers actually seem to have gone. I don't know where they are or why they're not there anymore. But yeah, basically it was really cool. And then hopper locking came out and it became useless and deprecated like a couple of days later. Yeah, there were hopper minecarts and I think hoppers here, but they're gone now. Wow, I haven't loaded this world in quite some time. I think that's about all that there is on here though. Okay, this was an absolutely huge project I was working on for a long time. That involved it was basically I was trying to make Conway's Game of Life in Minecraft. A lot of this is using the clone command. I didn't place these by hand. It looks amazing though, actually. But yeah, there were problems with it. It was also very slow. Conway's Game of Life involves. I'll link it in the description because there's a Game of Life that has nothing to do with it. But basically, it involves the life and death of little pixels, and you can get patterns and gliders and things. So there's lit squares and there's unlit squares, and I had sort of lots of redstone for them. So you will have to. I can't explain it. Cells basically light up and die. This is as small as I could make the squares, and I think you could toggle their color. Yeah. Using switches, and there was, oh man, it used colored wool to calculate which cells were near it and whether the pixel should turn on or off, and crazy stuff. But it was very slow, and I couldn't quite get it to work properly. Like, it, I think, was too much for the game to calculate in one go, because every single pixel, every single one of those squares had to be calculated before any of them changed. So yeah, that ended sadly with a nothing, but now feels like a time to mention it, if any. It still works. This is when falling sand first came out. So this is basically using falling sand, and for some reason, you get this amazing fade effect that you can't get by using set block. This is before set block, when falling sand first came out. That used to be just it didn't flicker like that. It was a solid piece of color changing wool using a very fast clock. But I can't believe that still works. This is the first GIF I ever made for Reddit, and it's pretty cool. I've also got on this world using, this is no set block, mine. This is just falling sand because there was no set block. It's a door, which you would use set block for now. I don't know what. Oh, this is it. Oh, color changing flower. Yeah, with falling sand, not set block. Again, there was no set block, and this was my flower door. This used a flower breaking scoreboard, I think. What is all this? Sidebar. So I think I had to be in survival to use it, but you break the flower, it puts a new flower in its place and the door opens, and then you break it again. Basically a flower toggle switch. That was good. Using this stuff down here. And those I think those hoppers are just there to pick up the flower item, because you couldn't stop it from dropping those or kill them with a command at the time, I don't think. Good times, good times. Oh, this is an old test world. I don't remember half of the stuff that's on here. This looks amazing when you're not recording. It sort of creates light displays on the redstone using the different brightnesses that the signal strengths can cause. So there's like ripples and things on it, but I've found that if I record you can't see it because my computer can't render it while recording. This was a fireworks randomizer. I wanted to make, for subspecials, I wanted a seed-based firework display, so you could enter the sub number, like how many subscribers you had on here, and it would generate a different fireworks show. I got as far as the control panel and gave up. This is a really old design for a melon farm. There's actually some melons still down there. There was a button that does nothing. Did I disconnect the buttons? I don't remember. Currently it's not producing anything, and this was like a second version, or yeah, with a single button that fired arrows at me? What was that? Oh, I was working on a timer using arrows. Oh god, that's weird stuff, weird stuff. What else do we have here? This was an experiment for a cool looking enchanting setup that never got used. So this was an attempt at a item controlled switching system, wireless switching. So the idea was this sheep over here, if you held the wheat in your hand, it would run towards you, and you can see the lights have turned off now. And if I held it again, it was supposed to track me through the wall and the lights would turn on again. But sheep are so terrible at noticing when you're holding wheat. Like, just see, finally he sees it again and the lights turn on. I just gave up. Like, if you've ever tried leading animals with wheat, you know they just randomly lose interest or don't notice you're holding it. So I built all this, I was ready to make the video, and then I realised it didn't work. Plus the sheep occasionally just randomly wanders onto the pressure plate when you're not. I didn't build any sort of pulse tester into it or anything like that, but yeah, that's a shame that didn't work. That would have been awesome, because the different animals are attracted to different things, so you could have had a different hold item for different things. Oh, this was a failed project. I wanted a way of travelling horizontally very quickly, and I was hoping that this sort of setup here would fire you really fast along, but it just doesn't. It doesn't push you. You're supposed to line yourself up really carefully against this fence post. Oh my god, it worked! That's like the first time it has ever worked. Yeah, see, very, very inconsistent. I don't know what it wants from me. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. That's pretty good. But yeah, it's also not quite as fast as I think I was hoping it would be. Would have been awesome. You can do diagonal ones that I think still work, but this just didn't. So that's about it. I seem to have covered pretty much all of the creative worlds that I have on this computer that I haven't deleted. So I think there were some older ones from ages ago, but they're gone, unfortunately. So yeah, I don't know. I hope people enjoyed the slightly different episode today. I did. I thought it was pretty cool looking at some of that older stuff again. Do you have sort of really old worlds? You should take a look back at them, see what the weirdest thing you find on them is, because there's some odd stuff in my experience. So I don't know. Give it a try. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.